This is going live. And apparently it went live at the moment that I was whistling the French national anthem. Was it Frères, I think? Or is it Marseille? I believe it's Marseille. Marseille! Play it! Fucking Casablanca. Anyway, I'm gonna grab a beer. YouTube is gonna do the thing that it usually does, where it makes this a Tolstoy radio show, and hopefully in the time that it takes me to fetch some alcohol, McAfee will come up and skullfuck everything. You wait for this moment, McAfee. I know that you do this. I know it's John McAfee him fucking self snorting lines of coke off a hooker's ass on his fucking big boat, which has a satellite connection, and he goes, oh good, Tolstoy streaming, tee-hee, and he can fuck with me. It's ridiculous. Okay. It's still there. It won't go away. YouTube's still fucking... What do you mean, no fucking data? Can I just uninstall McAfee? Like, can I send them viruses? What kind of acts of terrorism can I do against McAfee? God damn. Now, to see what the issue is. Yeah. Encoding overloaded. It's always fucking overloaded. You fix it, bitch. You always do. I don't feel like this is my issue. I feel like this is you. This is on your end. You fix this shit. Christ, it's so low quality, I look like a fucking potato. This is ridiculous. Oh, fuck. Well, I don't have my phone to see whether or not it's running or not. I'm going to go get a goddamn beer. I think I need one. Fuck me. Clothes in the hall are yours. What? Those clothes in the hall are yours. I had a feeling. Well, yeah, and it's still decked up, I assure you. It's more fucked than it was before, so I'm just going to try to, if it breaks, I'm not even going to give a shit.
Well, to me, that doesn't seem like the worst thing of all time ever in the multiverse of...
It was just yet another thing that was getting in my way.
Yeah,
and it was a reminder of the fact that there is someone rubbing their hands and going, you didn't know, behind everything. Including this fucking piece of shit.
I do plan on, like, using Sunday to majorly clean.
Yeah, we do. We need to clean up around here. Okay. It's still not balanced. All right, let me get the phone of justice here to see if anyone can actually. It's live. I don't know what you're looking at. Christ! It always takes a small. Yeah, I know I'm live on YouTube. Mother dog. Get the fucking technology. Who made this bullshit? Okay. Just set it to encode at ultra fast, which for some reason, the faster that you encode, the less CPU usage. I don't even think that's science. That doesn't even sound right. Let's see what new. I want to see what it looks like on YouTube. Oh my god. And look at that. You can see movement again. Good thing all the viewers dropped out because quality's even worse than before. Make you snore because my tired song is boring you. Oh my good word. And this requires a beer. I've been a good boy, though. I've done many a shitty home workout, and I ran 9 miles earlier this week. Yeah, I ran 9 miles. And my legs are still fucking killing me from doing so. So I figured I might as well give it a rest. And I got a lot of chores done today. So here's to you. Sweet fucking IPA. Voodoo Ranger. Brewed in, what would we say? Asheville, North Carolina. The pot capital of our state. If we could just legalize it, that would be the new Denver. Criminy. Beautiful IPA. Touch my soul. Touch my soul. God damn, and I see myself in the fucking the window. I see myself on the screen, and I look bad than holy hell. Jesus, tap dancing, Christ. Oh, criminy. Now it's getting back to me with that. It's not getting enough. Is it? Okay, well, OBS says we're good. So, YouTube, you a lying motherfucker. I cannot make it any lower quality than this. It's Tolstoy quality. Do you know how low that is? That's low. That's lower than being a black slaver. And, buddy, that's low. Oh, God. God, help me. God, grant me the serenity to accept there are things that I cannot change, the power to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference that you will. Oh, God. No, bud. Jesus. No, Ken. I'm not. But it's not from lack of trying. Let's just let's keep it funny, Steven. Kane the Warlock says, "Heyo," so we know Kane is in. That's good. It's always good to know that we have our resident Cthulhu expert here. Richard the Righteous says, "Well, hello there, sir." Oh, Richard. So, Richard. Twin Phalanx says, "Good to see you, Papa T. What it do?" My Tolstoy people, file on in. I will try to keep this civil, so we will try not to go off all Uncle Wizzletees. That's a reference to fucking Ren and Stimpy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. And so apparently he was kind of given free rein, Billy West, the voice actor on that, who played both titular characters, to sort of just do that segment however he wanted to do. And he said that, ironically, Ren was already inspired a little bit of Burl Ives, who was a folk singer, kind of like Cat Stevens, because like in the 60s, folk kind of took off, except for it really wasn't folk music. Okay, that's a kind of a sweeping generalization. Anyway, hey, look, Voss is in. Voss, I haven't been dodging your calls. It's just you've been calling it all of the... Hey, he's in the gun store. Homie, what are you trying to get in the gun store? What you trying to purchase, my good guy? Is it something Slavic? You purchasing Slav shit? Are you? Don't lie to me. Anyway, I haven't been screening your calls. You've just been calling it, like, every, like, time where I wasn't really able to pick up. So, just know that. See, I'm fiddling with a pen right now. Like, you know that I'm a natural fiddlestick, man. I gotta... So anyway, Burl Ives, he was a folk singer. And it inspired Billy West to not only make the character of Ren sound that way, but then when he was given the chance to parody that kind of, acoustic singer with Uncle Wizzletees. And that's how he made that character. Happy, happy, joy, joy. And just the deranged things that he says, if anyone remembers that song where he's just like... First he says, like, the little critters in nature that they don't know that they're ugly. Well, that's very funny, a fly marrying a bumblebee. And then it just switches to this dark PTSD tone. And he goes, I told you I'd shoot, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me? God damn. Anyway, Atomic Puppet says, you enjoying Red Dead so far? What town you at? Well, I'm still in Valentine, and yeah, I have been enjoying it. I kind of just get lost hunting a lot. The missions don't interest me as much as just fucking around. Unfortunately, I guess a major part of the game is accepting that your horse can very much die. No. Let me tell you about the legend of Tolstoy and the reload screen. Because fuck that noise. So now I'm in like an all-out brood with the O'Driscolls. Before, we were kind of standoffish. Now I'm just genociding them where I find them. Because they shot my horse. I named it Kerr. You shot Kerr, goddammit. Fuck. But yes, it is a Wild West sim, and I've been playing that, and to get my head into the game, I have been reading, I'm gonna get it. Un momento, por favor. This is one of the greatest books that I have ever read. Let me tell you about this right now. Put one in, get your left. This is your left, this is your left, this is your right. You're gonna die. So, Blood and Thunder by Hampton Sides, who used to actually write for Outside Magazine. First of all, I don't know how to explain this, but like this particular binding style of high grade but still paperback, like I don't know what to say about these pages. There's ASMR in here. Fuck you, you know it's true. I love it so much. So, long story short, I'm about halfway through this fucker, and it's not really set in the West. It is it's almost a historidrama. It's straight up historical fact, little to no fiction, but the way that it's described by this writer is so masterful that it summons up the image of. It's very cinematic for a book. It's supposed to mostly be about the legendary mountain man. Oh, fuck me. What are you, already trashed? Mountain man. It's about the famous mountain man, Kit Carson, but really all of the events and characters and political goings-on of his time, which would have been at the beginning of the frontier, way before the themes of Red Dead Redemption in 1899 and 1911 and the frontier coming to a close. It was when it was just the fucking no-go zone. And it reminds me a lot of Stalker. I had like that kind of realization that the mountain men were the stalkers of their era. And I talked about that in the last stream. But anyway, it's... one day I want to go over this actually in its entirety. I haven't done book reviews in a long time. There's really nothing stopping me from doing it. The thing is that it's not, I hate that my YouTube channel has become nothing but a bunch of really low quality live streams. It's just that they're really easy to make, and I honestly do my best work live. It's like for a while I was trying to professionalize, and this required that I write scripts, and I can write scripts, but they never come off as genuine as if I'm just saying shit off of the fly, and I feel like saying shit off, and it's like, but then when I say shit off the fly, I feel like there's things that I like, if I go on a tirade about a book, or a rant about a book, or a video game, I feel like I'm not thoroughly going through it, and there's just like things that I'm leaving out, or things that I'll later on want to go back and change. But either way, I've been reading that back-to-back with playing Red Dead, and it's really getting me into that whole era. I wish I could have lived back then, honestly. It'd be better than this horrible clown future that we're in right now. Delicious. Kane the Warlock says, funny enough, I was reading the Simon Necronomicon. Okay. Well, let's talk about that. So, as you and I both know, I'm gonna go ahead and give you the benefit of the... Oh my Jesus. God damn, Buttermouth already. Or my fucking mouth moves fast. I actually can speed read to a certain extent, not comprehension, meaning I can retain what I've read. I can just read it really fast and talk really fucking fast. And, I use that a lot at work. And people have said, like, you ought to do that thing for the commercials where you're the guy that talks about... let's see if I can do it. In the summer of 1846, the Army of the West marched through Santa Fe en route to invade. It helps if I've read the script before. In the summer of 1846, the Army of the West marched through Santa Fe en route to invade and occupy the western territories claimed by Mexico. Fueled by the new ideology of manifest destiny, this land grab would lead to a decades-long battle between the United States and the Navajos. You get what I'm talking about. I can talk fast. What the fuck is coming up on my screen? Steam, get the fuck out. Meg, who let you back in? God damn it, Steam! God damn it. So, anyway, so you and I both know, and I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Kane, that the Necronomicon isn't real. It was a joke created by Lovecraft and, like, his, Ivy League friends. But I've always wondered, what is it that was printed in those, I'm watching the feed and I'm seeing it jam up. And I'm like, really? At this low quality, it can't stream normally? Are we for fucking real, YouTube? For fucking reals, though? For reals, dog. So I always wondered what was the actual content then of that. Was it just like pulled out of somebody's ass or whatever? Because there was no actual real-world Necronomicon. Oh, yeah. And some of the reviews that I saw on Amazon were helpful, and I don't know that this is necessarily true. What I read basically stated that it was a bunch of shambolic Kabbalistic spells, but ironically they were all rigged up in reverse, so that if you were to attempt to complete any of the rites written therein, it would backfire on you. I don't really believe in magic, but I wouldn't fuck with that shit either. Voss says, I'm in line at the gun store right now. Well, what are you purchasing, son? Video Gamer 945 says, do you watch Bald and Bankrupt? No. What are you, like, looking in my future or some shit like that? No. Voss Montenegro says, purchase? Why no, sir? I'm picking up something new. Yes, you're purchasing something new, and I'm assuming it's something Slavic or something I'm going to shake my head at and disapprove. Let me guess, another 1911 so that you can dual wield 1911s. I'm putting that in now. Is that? I think I'm probably. Username Metal Doomer says, I just got Rage. Oh Christ. He said, I just got a Raid Shadow Legends ad when I clicked on this stream. Are you for fucking real? Wow. Now that you bring that up, this video is sponsored by Raid. No, I'm fucking kidding. Well, I monetized that bitch. I hope you clicked on that fucking link. I need the money. I'll suck your dick. Twin Phalanx says, just got myself a Smith & Wesson 357. Smith 357 gang. Hell yeah. And he says, and I must say I'm not disappointed. No, you will not be unless it's a modern replication of the 19 Gen 4 because those had spitting issues, so be really careful. Sukabliet says, I'm still trying to figure out what handgun to get budget-wise, either 1911 45 or a Tokarev in 9mm. Why not a Makarov in 380, bro? Anyway. Atomic Puppet says, have you had the marshals come after you in Red Dead? I remember I was in the middle of nowhere hiding in a cabin and they showed up looking for me because I had a big bounty. Oh no, because I pay off my bounties immediately. I only had that one bounty put on me because I did that rescue mission for Dumbass McGee, who honestly we should have fucking left there. I don't think that he's really a competent member of the team. There are several members of the team that I'm like, why are you here? Video Gamer 945 says, John Makita Jr. will be proud. I don't know who that is. Kane the Warlock says, yeah, I know. Okay, so then you are aware. Why are you reading it then? Thoth is here. He says, hello. Video Gamer 945 says, Bald and Bankrupt is a YouTube channel. I wasn't taking a dig at you. I know, I'm just fucking around. Self-deprecating humor. And then Thoth comes back and says, Bald and Bankrupt is a dickhead, though. And then Video Gamer 945 expounds upon this, and he says, he goes to India and former Soviet countries. Oh, so he's an explorer type. Very good. Kane the Warlock says, the content is Sumerian rituals that somehow forced Cthulhu and Aleister Crowley into with a fake outlining story about the mad Arab and the titular Simon. Shits and giggles. Is that like the fictional narrative laid down in the fake Necronomicon? I'm not entirely following. Video Gamer 945 says John Makita Jr. is the Micro Machines guy. Oh, word. Okay, I know exactly who you're talking about. It can go 500 only on Sunday. Yeah, if I had something else that I've like read over and bloody over again, I'd probably be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like something that I'm like familiar with, like a script that, because obviously speed readers read the script over and fucking over again until they can get it right. You know, until they can actually like enunciate everything properly, so the company doesn't. I'm like looking around to see if there's anything that would ultimately be that familiar to me, but honestly, there is not. Ultimate X James says, it's actually day 51, not 13, you lucky one. That was some kind of cryptic shit. Honestly, the only thing that I can really relate that to would be I just finished watching Waco, and that was the 51st day is when the ATF... No, I already see you. I see you, you glow, shill, going like, well, really, the Branch Davidians set it on fire. I'm sure they did. I'm sure that they burnt themselves alive. I'm sure they elected for that shit, which is why David Koresh shot himself. Well, he had his friend shoot him. Either way, on the 51st day. Video Gamer 945 says, you quoted his IBM ad, lol. What? Now I'm getting really confused. Ewan Hoburn says, your content is piss funny. Keep it up. I hope that's true. I don't actually think I'm all that fucking entertaining, but for some reason, people keep showing the fuck up. So, okay. Fuck. Let's get some more beer. In my fancy ass, my comfy chair. Righteous. Thoth says, in Lovecraftian lore, the Necronomicon is a book that exists on the spiritual plane and can only be accessed through a dream. Bro, you're wrong. What? I literally have my... Okay. Don't want to be that guy, but I've read a lot of Lovecraft, and my favorite Lovecraft, and this is kind of... It's a little cliche, but in The Mountains of Madness, the main character talks about how this situation reminds him of the passages that he read in the Necronomicon. Are you saying that they're two separate books, that was a fake one, or it's that you have to believe in the content for it to drive you mad, which actually would really coincide... That's an interesting... Oh, yeah. That's an interesting... Brain won't think of the word. That's an interesting facet of the concepts of like magic and whatnot is that was really heavily explored with a tabletop game like Vampires the Masquerade. So in essence, the magic system in Vampires the Masquerade, well, really Mage the Ascension, but like it's all White Wolf. Just mix that shit all together. That reminds me of this one time that I was on a date with a chick at a fancy little like wine bar, but maybe they also had liquor. I don't remember. But, I was saying something to her, and I said, like, well, isn't it, beer before liquor, never sicker, liquor before beer, it's all something like that. I don't think you should. And before I could even finish, the bartendress, who was a big titty goth girlfriend, that's all I can say about that. Tifa, if she was a big titty goth girlfriend, was like, nah, it's all right, mix it all together, it's fine. And, like, that ended up being kind of my, long story short, with White Wolf Publishing, you mix it all together. So we played a campaign with a dude who played a mage, and at one point we were fighting off a helicopter. There was a lot of police around. I'm not going to go ahead and expound upon that concept. There were a lot of words shared that night. Anyway, I miss you, James. So he tries to, quote, throw a fireball at it, and DM is like, okay, but there's a bunch of cops standing around, and they don't believe in magic, so you can't throw a fireball. Can you make them believe that it's an RPG 7? You see? Magic is based on, like consent. And that kind of goes into the whole idea that we're all one reality experience. Experiencing itself subjectively. So... I don't know if that's like the theme that you're going for here. If like you're suggesting that it's part of the lore that maybe I haven't read, I'm down to believe that maybe there's I don't have 100% of the picture, but that it's like there's the Necronomicon within his universe that is just a book that college professors read and laugh at, and then there's people with the arcane knowledge to actuate the things that they're reading that make it terrifying, and you go into the spirit realm, and then there's a thing called that fuck. The fuck am I pushing around? Does anyone know what to do with rusted-ass 7.62s? Voss, you're in... Oh, and he's probably already away. What do I do with this? Like... I actually think the AK could probably chamber that. It could probably fire that. I don't want to hurt my gun, guys. The Enquire? The Enquire. The Enquire. Well, that's how his name is pronounced. He says, and the children used CS gas on themselves. CS gas. Wait. What? 401k? What are we talking about? Then the children used CS gas. Tear gas. Tear gas was deployed by the ATF, and then it ignited. Because it has a tendency to do that shit, and they'd already shut off the electricity so that they were using... I mean... Let him do it. Tell me what... So... The Enquire, are you on Team ATF or Team Waco? Or Davidian? Did they or did they not burn themselves alive? I like that a government council found that the government did not burn them alive. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm so glad that the government knows that they didn't do a bad thing because they're the goddamn government. I can't imagine that you would... It's like there was a friend of mine I was trying to convince about... JFK and, how the shooting wasn't 100% straight up, you know what I mean? It wasn't a fucking assassin who pulled off a shot that no other elite sniper unit on Earth has ever been able to do. And later on, he got back to me, he's like, no, man, I read the Warren report. As it turns out, the government didn't assassinate him. Otherwise, they would tell us. And I'm like, oh, no, sweetie. No. You know what I mean? Like, what? What would make you think that they have any reason not to lie to you? So anyway, that's a good beer. Video Gamer 945 says, we like your confidence. What confidence? No, I am but a lowly neckbeard with many an action figure and some swords. Many a sword, too. And by the way, does anyone want to buy these goddamn swords? I will sell the shit out of these swords. I'll suck your dick. I need money. Doo-doo-doo. And then Stephen Knight is in, and he says, we live and the house is jumpin'. It is always jumpin'. And then he also adds Cthulhu for the win. Hup! Oh, God. Sorry, everything hurts. I've been working out a lot, and I've been running, and my legs don't want to fucking work. Cthulhu for the win, indeed. I gotta get rid of this fucking thing. But you love Lovecraft. Yeah, I know, but it's so dorky to show that you love Lovecraft because hipsters also say that they love Lovecraft. It's like wearing North Face. I like going outside. I trail run. I rock climb. But no one who actually wears North Face does those things. Sorry. Had a small outburst. We're done. We're done with that. The anger has dissipated. VideoGamer945 says, Tolstoy, have you ever been in a fight? If so, did you win? Yes and no. What do you mean? That's, you're asking me to talk about a lot of stuff. So a lot of the anger that was there present in my earlier videos that thankfully have been removed by me. A lot of that anger was based around times where I experienced interpersonal violence because Maryland and Baltimore and that in general area is a violent area, and I ran into a lot of shit, and I'll be honest, it was mostly like white trash meth head shit, and, which is fucking weird, because it's a major metropolitan area, but they're also redneck as fuck, and, I did what I had to do, and, that's all we're gonna say about that. Yeah, that's all we're gonna say about that, actually. In fact, then the answer, for all intents and purposes, becomes no, and this entire channel is a parody. And no, I've never. I can tell you that a lot of anger dissipated when I came down to North Carolina. You know, it's like in a state where even grandma can carry a .45 in her purse. That general, God, I don't have the tact to answer that. I could go on a 3-hour, rant about it. That, I don't know, I don't know how to talk about that. Well, no. I'm sorry, I don't mean to seize up on stage. I'm not, there's no way that I can tactfully speak about the concept of, self-defense situations. Yeah, so we're going to move along. Thoth says, I mean, Lovecraft contradicts himself numerous times. Yeah, that's probably true. But I'm probably wrong. I'm slightly stoned. Nothing wrong with that, Thoth. Steven's right there with you. I don't believe it's like a book that you could... It was an actual book. It's just your level of belief in it, I think, dictated how much control it had over you. Well, I'm sure Kane will be able to sort this shit the fuck out. Kane the Warlock. There are like a shit ton of copies of the Necronomicon and Cthulhu mythos, is what he's talking about. So then let me pose this to you, Kane. So are you saying that like not all of them are accurate copies? Some of them are like bad or forgeries, even within the mythos of Lovecraft? VideoGamer945 says we are a coral colony. Well, then in that case we're fucked, because most coral colonies these days are fucked. King the Warlock says, I mean, the Arab got the info from dreams. Did he? I actually don't know. Stephen Knight says, Video Gamer 945 says, huck it at a car. What am I hucking at a car? And then Stephen Knight says, wasn't expecting a Tolstoy show tonight. Honestly, lol, almost missed it. Yeah, man, super sorry about that. These things are sporadic as fuck. I never know when enough people are going to pour in and fill up the comments. And I feel like, unfortunately, for some reason, whenever I'm drinking, it tends to be more dramatic. But also, drinking bad, Tolstoy. It disrupts endocrine system. Yeah. The Enquai says, they set the fire, says the government, is my opinion. But yeah, Team Waco, lol. You get it. Fucking... nah, man, I checked. The Warren Report. Fucking Some crazy guy totally assassinated him. It says so by the gubby. Fucking what? Like, goddamn, man. I wonder if I could pull that shit off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Anyway, get another beer. Hup, bully. Let's go ahead and get my ears back on. Smokey got your ears on? Oh, no, wait. You wouldn't be calling out to a Smokey, I guess. Smokey's got them ears on. He's hot on your trail. He ain't gonna rest till you're in jail. So you got to dodge him, you got... That bounced off my computer screen. You got to dodge him, you got to duck him. Gotta bend him over and buck him. All right. Let's get back to... And everyone's like, it's gonna be like one of those Tolstoy videos. Yes. Yes, it will. Whatever may come, brace. Scrolled on back up. Stephen Knight says, oh wait, already rereading. Blah. And he says, what we drinking today? Well, I got some vodka for a little bit later, but we're starting off with some beers. Can I get a sponsorship? Can a motherfucker get a sponsorship up in here? I reach almost like 100 people per video. Fuck off. Company called New Belgium, which apparently is based out of Asheville, North Carolina. Fuck yeah, man. North Carolina, rise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it around your hand. Wave it in the air like a helicopter. He's from Durham. I really want a job in Durham. Come on, Duke. Let's do it. Anyway, Voodoo Ranger. It is highly alcoholic, highly IPA, and highly wonderful. Oorah. The Omni Seal says, Henlo. Henlo, human. No bamboozle, friend. You know, I wonder if people who don't understand memes watch my videos and are just like, what the fuck? I wonder if people who also understand memes watch my video and go, what the fuck? Kane the Warlock. So a good chunk of the Simon book is how this supposed Simon got a hold of the suppressed true Necronomicon. Oh, okay. That's pretty funny. Interesting. Is that like the basic standard issue one you've seen? It's like, it's black, has like the supposed, but here's what's, the most common copies of the Necronomicon that I've seen have had a black cover. They're trying to appeal to the whole manual of Satanism look, black cover, red emblem, and the red emblem is supposedly the seal of the Elder Things that wards off the Elder Things. Yeah, well, as it turns out, it just looks like a pentagram that's been, fucked around with a little bit. It looks a little more arty. Yeah, okay, except for anyone who's actually an OG, Lovecraft fan can tell you that the Elder sign looks more like a leaf. So the fact that they had to change it to make it more edgy boy is it's a little motherfucking. Video Gamer 945 says, "I think I broke Tolstoy." You definitely did. That is a topic that I could talk a lot about, but not while something's recording. Do. Kane the Warlock says, then some stories of Arabs' travels. Clive Winston in the house. He says another one. He says, he's DJ Khalif in here. He says, another one. And another one. Sukabliat says, Wednesday, when me and my bro went to an academy sports, and most of the rifles and shotguns were gone. Yeah, so stuff is opening up again around here. Ducked my head into a Dick's. I love Dick's! That actually happened, by the way. Straight up, I'm at a party. Someone talks about Dick's Sporting Goods. I just randomly shouted out, I love Dick's. Not really thinking about it. It was literally right in between songs changing on an iPod that was hooked up to the the speaker dock. So literally, it was like the song just faded out, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love dicks!" And then just everyone at the party was like, and I was like, "Sporting," and before I could finish sporting goods, on comes like fucking Lady Gaga's "Just Dance," and so I'm like, "Sporting, just dance." No. And I'm like telling people like, "No, it's sporting goods." No one gave a fuck. Everyone kept saying, "You love dicks." These are the people I chose as friends. Yeah. But anyway, I went into a Dick's, and all the rifles seem to be gone. They've also rearranged things. I don't like change. Also, their North Face section got smaller. It is hipster as fuck, but their gear is actually not bad. I would like you to expand your North Face section, you fucking assholes. They had a big Columbia section. Yeah, well, I'm wearing Columbia shorts, and they're shit. There's already fraying going on. Like, I need my shit to actually last more than a season. Okay, thanks. Oh yeah, baby. Kane the Warlock says, what up? And the house is bumping. When you look at it, the Necronomicon is like the Bible. Levels of translations. Lovecraft had a story of the whole history. Which was that story, so I can read it. Stephen Knight says, you see the new trailer for Jordan Peele's new Lovecraft series? It looks interesting. Okay. Yes, I've seen it. I don't know how I feel about it. You know how I feel about Jordan Peele? Great comedian. I love him when he's hooked up with, what's Keegan? What's his actual name? Keegan? Anyway, you know, whatever. I love his comedy. His horror movies are lacking, man. His horror movies have so much potential, but he has to force social justice into that shit, and it turns me off, man. Fucking... You know, so we'll fucking see. I saw the trailer for it, and it looked interesting. I didn't even know it was by Jordan Peele. I was just, like, watching it, and I was interested in it, and I was like, oh, okay, neat, let's see what this is about. And then they're like, yeah, man, that's Lovecraft country. And I was like, wait, what the fuck? And then I saw, from director Jordan Peele, and I was like, oh, God, it's gonna be another white people bad movie. And then, like, monsters start showing up, and I was like, oh. Or is it gonna... What are we doing? And then at that point, I'm just a little bit question mark. So we'll see. I have to put out feelers for it. You know what I mean? I have no idea yet, because it's entirely possible that he just makes a straight up series about Lovecraft and it being monsters and a black family and, you know, fucking with the monsters or some shit like that. So we shall see. Kane the Warlock says, in my belief, the Simon book was made by an Aleister Crowley fanatic because people believe Crowley was channeling the same forces as Lovecraft, and the book is dedicated to Crowley. Oh, man, that is really cringy. Ugh. Oh, Crowley is so cringy. Oh, he was an opium addict who thought that he could do magic, but as it turns out, he could just do opium. Sorry, man, I'm sorry. No. He's, no. Clive Winston says, love that you're opening the beer with the Swiss Army knife. It's a vibe. It's not even, it's not a Swiss Army knife. It's some horrific, I think my brother bought this for me from a Walmart 10 million years ago. But actually, I mean, fucking, everybody needs a tool. You know, giggity. But that being said, it's from some company called Sheffield. Meh. If it's supposedly from Sheffield... No, there's no way. It's from China. But Sheffield, England is actually where the boys from Fact Fiend are from, and I love that series. The Boss of Cat's Nick. He says, my Necronomicon is black and gold. Yeah? What do you have, like a special leather-bound edition? Think you're special? Kane the Warlock says, the Lovecraft Necronomicon came from being inspired from the King in Yellow's play. Why do you introduce, like, weird shit to me that I need to, like, save, but I don't have my phone on me? The King in Yellow's play. What? Oh, ostriches and gin. That is a terrible goddamn combination. What are you doing with those ostriches? Or are you drunk when you play with the ostriches? Listen, man, we have to get this straightened out. No. He says Quaran-Stream. No, sir. As you can see, it is a potomu of the word Quarantine, but it's Quaran-Stream. All right. So that's how it's done. I don't need you to. No. Kane the Warlock says, yes, it is common. Yes, it is the common one. There are 3 more books in They Sold 2. Also, there's a Lovecraft book collection called the Necronomicon. Well. And everything bumped. And the house is bumped. Steven Knight asks, what's your favorite Red Dead Redemption 2 weapon? Dude, the sawed-off. Sawed-off in combination with the Webley revolver has been pretty... Oh, they don't call it the Webley, do they? It's obviously... It's an obvious Webley revolver. I don't know what they call it in the game. It's the one... the Webley is the model. The English came up with a really interesting goddamn concept, and I don't know why modern revolver makers haven't followed suit. I understand the crane swinging out and having a extraction piston for... I think it's what it's called. A extraction piston. What the fuck is that actual piece called? The extraction piston. Whatever the fuck. Anyway. But the break action revolver that throws the cartridges over your shoulder as you open it up to put in more. That's a Webley. Really interesting design, and no one has done anything like that since. And it's just like, but why? It's a good idea. There's probably a reason that I don't know about. But either way, that in combination with the sawed-off, boom, 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 motherfuckers, die. You fucking O'Driscoll pieces of shit. Killed my horse. Paul, 98 Romeo says, hello from Liverpool. Oh, Jesus Christ, you drunk fucking faggot. Kill yourself. Fall on your sword. Hello from Liverpool, England. Hello, Paul. Liverpool, huh? The Beatles, huh? That's all I know about Liverpool. Anyway, Kane the Warlock says, I think that's what the Boss of Cats has. The Boss of Cats then chimes in and says, it's a collective collection with a little forward, basically. Yeah. Alex B says, you should be in a movie with AVGN. Son, I don't think AVGN cares about me or my fame or what little horrible fame I have. AVGN is a real star. He's the real MVP. No. The fact that JonTron got to, meet him and go through his shit was pretty fucking cool, actually. A little bit of ASMR for you right there. And everyone's like, Tolstoy, stop. And I'm just like, no, I'm going to keep doing ASMR. Fuck you, faggot. Clive Winston says, should I spend a few extra bucks I have lying around on backpacking gear or books? Oh, dude, backpacking gear. Oh, books can be... Which books? I mean... the same amount of money that would buy you decent backpacking gear is going to buy you a fuck ton of books. How many books you got to buy? What, you going to college? Why am I Italian? Stop it, Tolstoy, you fucking racist. But Italians are white. Oh, that's right. Fuck them. I think that's okay to do, actually. I'm pretty sure I'm in the clear. Kane the Warlock says, it's called The History of the Necronomicon. Jessica Miller says... Megan Michael Key. Oh, is that Keegan's full name? Wait, it's Megan. What do you like? Is this a memorial? Megan? I don't have my phone, goddamn. Oh, Jesus, tap dancing. You make me go all the way across the room. Is that what you wanted? You wanted me to go across the room? You wanted me to become a New York stereotype for some goddamn reason? I don't know why. When I get angry, I become a fucking stereotype. You are a stereotype, Tolstoy. Shut the fuck up. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yes. All right. We'll look it up. All right. Fuck it. What does that say? I don't give a fuck about that. Do-do-do-do. Megan Michael Key. This is going to put me on a fucking list. No, man. Oh, it was a misspelling. Okay. His actual name is Keegan Michael Key. His last name is Key? Motherfucker's name is Keegan Key? That's actually pretty cool. The Boss of Cats next says, Spine says commemorative edition Necronomicon, best weird tales of Lovecraft. God damn, we've been going on for a long time about this book. It is a collection of the works by H.P. Lovecraft. I get it. I'm skipping literally all of that. Everything jumped, and the house is jumping. That's pretty great. King the Warlock says, like how Freud was a coke addict who thought he was a psychologist. We'll need you to go ahead and hit that. There you go. Hang on. I'm going to do it for you. There you go. High five, bud. High fucking five. So I dated a girl who was going to school for psychology. She was a year one, so she was a freshman, and I went up to her college town, and she was in the shower in her dorm room, and I'm like lying in her bed and like reading all of her goddamn manual, her fucking manuals, her psychology textbooks, and she comes back in, and I said, like, let me tell you why all of this is bullshit. Like, I was just like, psychology is gay. You gay, son. Like, I don't know why. I know why. Because it's fucking stupid and 90% made up. Like, she should have been going for psychiatry. Psychiatry, neurology. Those are actual things. Psychology? No, psychology is actual thing, Tolstoy. Quit being a fucking drunk asshole because your ex is alive. I was trying to think about a bad thing about my ex. I was like, I was like running down the checklist. Cheat on you? Did she break up with you? And I was like, no, none of those things. And it was just, she's alive. How dare you, bitch, be alive? God damn it. She is an SJW. I see her posts on Facebook for whatever goddamn reason, and every time I'm just like, goddamn, bitch. You. Clive Winston says, ever hear about the book of the sacred mushroom and the cross? The premise is Christianity is a misunderstanding and is actually based on the psychedelic mushroom use and fertility rituals. That sounds like a stretch. I have heard that the Essenes, who were pretty cool, interpreted Jesus pretty interestingly, and I think that's probably the source of that, but that's going to be a no for me, dog. No. There's enough historical evidence to counter the Essenes' claims that, like, Jesus was, like, a vegetarian, that he was actually a mushroom. Yes, there are weird-ass Essene narratives that he was a mushroom, and that the entire four testaments of the four Gospels of the New Testament are metaphorical and really referring to the psychedelic nature of, mushrooms, which... Are there psychedelic? Oh, yeah, there must be, because there's an Indian sutra. No, not a sutra. It was in the Vedas. Yeah, the Vedas that talks about supposedly soma, but when you do some ethnobotany, not even making that up, when you do that, you come to the conclusion that really soma, so modern day soma is actually carisoprodol, which is a muscle relaxer, but supposedly, their soma, which was like some sort of sacred herb to them, was actually really just a bush that had natural ephedrine in it. So, that would have just made you speedy. Wouldn't have had wisdom. They say it has wisdom. Does speed make you wise? I'm gonna go fight that cop. Like, does that make you wise? Is that? Anyway, this is making me wise. Oh, yeah. Ostriches and gin. What are you doing to those goddamn ostriches, you son of a bitch? Says, oh, I see. And I just really like ostriches and alcohol, mostly separate. That's good. You better keep those ostriches separate. Burt Macklin, FBI. Sorry, I've been watching way too much Parks and Rec. Kane the Warlock says, The King in Yellow is a book of short stories all about a play called The King in Yellow that makes people mad. It's warehouse store. Oh, I've heard of this. You jogged my memory, but I don't remember anything about it. I looked this up on Wikipedia one time, and I have forgotten it since. Osmotar is in. He says, all religion... Oh, Osmotar, you're back. Dude, Osmotar, you and Clive have a lot in common. You need to meet on my Discord, because both of you Both of you have a lot of XP in certain botany. Anyway, just putting that out there. All religions have psychedelic origins in our past. Yeah, I had that thought the first time that I did psychedelics. The Bossacats Nick says Schofield revolver. No, Sheffield revolver. No, wait. No, Webley. Oh. In the game, it's called a Schofield revolver. That's right. Okay, so in Red Dead Redemption 2, it's called a Schofield revolver. In reality, that is based off of the Webley design, which we will now find out, if I can get my goddamn phone to open, how historically inaccurate that is. Because I feel like the Webley was introduced in the 1911 era. Oh, touchscreens failed again. Who knew? Webley revolver. Just find me the wiki. Quit being. Oh, 1887. Shut my mouth. Okay. I don't know shit about guns. Stephen Knight says, I use the bow pump shotgun with rifling upgrade and the Granger revolver. Well, I haven't unlocked all of the different guns. Most of the guns are still locked to me, so there's that. Clive Winston said, and before I can even finish the thought here, Clive Winston has already said at Osmotar, "Hey, I like the way you think." The Bossacats Nick says, Schofield was designed for cavalry people. Schofield? Are you sure that Schofield is a real design? God damn it. Well, I obviously can't type it in because I have filthy-ass touchscreen design. Oh my. Don't get angry. Oh. Fuck me. It's a real goddamn gun. So the Webley borrowed from this? Or is this after the Webley? Ooh, that's a burn on me. Damn, son. I'm sorry about that. Let's have a looky, Lou. No, ironically, I do not actually want to watch a Hickok 45. Smith & Wesson made it. Oh, I thought I had you. I was like, circa 1915, so it borrowed from the Webley. No, it did not. Circa 1870s when they started making it. So the fucking Webley borrowed from Smith & Wesson. Ain't that some crazy shit? Ain't that just quacking crazy, Jimbo? Fucking crazy. Beer. Interesting. And basically, the Bossacats Nick goes on to say that essentially it was easier to reload one-handed horseback. Yeah. Interesting to think about the mechanics of that. Bump. And everything bumped. Stephen Knight says, I liked the sawed-off shotgun on my first playthrough. I just got tired of the reload lol. And I was thinking, you're using the volcanic pistol that was my favorite pistol in my first playthrough. I skipped it. I looked up on reviews and I said, what was better, the revolvers or the volcanic pistol? And they said that for some reason the volcanic pistol was underpowered and slow to reload. And I thought about how many different enemies I was facing once the O'Driscolls hit me with that massive swarm of shitbags. And at that point, I thought it would not really behoove me to have a long reload time. Paul98 Romeo says, would love to stay, but unfortunately am on shift as paramedic tomorrow. So good night. Well, God bless you, sir. Hats off to you. Stephen Knight says, I think it has the highest damage out of all the pistols, even with express rounds. Really interesting. I'll have to go back and look at it. I googled the stats and I got a bunch of different websites that said this or that. So I'll go back and relook at those. The Bossacats Nick says, I give you the Italian pass, Tolstoy. Do I have the Italian pass? Do you have the ability to? You got me the ability to pass for Italian? Fuck. Clive Winston says, I got $50, so either SO 3 books, so 3 books, or a few hiking odds and ends like a poncho and water filtration stuff. Then I'm gonna go with the hiking gear only because it's real life things and you can always probably steal most of the books that you're looking for in terms of PDF download. I only buy books unironically in an attempt to support the authors who I like. Stephen Knight says, in other news, just saw Glenn get owned on The Walking Dead, and I lost my appetite for my fried chicken, and you're trying to get me banned, and black people love them some fried chicken. Yeah, I already stopped caring about that point. As soon as they rolled out with Alexandria, I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. And then when they murked Glenn, I was like, oh, we're doing this. Okay. And then I stopped watching. Clive Winston says Waco is, by the way, I know, I just finished it last night. God damn. I mean, goddamn. Fuck, man. Stephen Knight says, and I'm obviously not reading that. Yup. Negan is a savage, though. Lol. Dave Chappelle voice. Not even gonna touch it. Jessica Miller says, autocorrect messed with me and you, lol. That was a long time ago. I forget what we're talking about. Stephen Knight says, he even had dope theme music, lol. Best villain of the series. They tried to make him the best villain of the series. I still like the governor better. Negan is a thug. He's a fucking low-rent thug. In reality, his own people would turn against him. Like, fuck. The Walking Dead became part of... Hang on. Before I do this speech, my ass is blowing my nose. And I cleaned up... Oh, my legs. Jesus. Much better. Okay, now. Sorry, had to pee and blow my goddamn nose. Now, So, and I've made this speech before, but it bears repeating. Among many other series, The Walking Dead essentially kind of took on the psyop of this is the kind of person who will rule if you don't have the righteous gubby keeping you safe from yourself or from others or, whatever their fucking psyop is this week. And, no. Francis Fukuyama and what was his name? Peter Frankopan and David Diamond, his name wasn't David Diamond. What's the name of the guy who did Guns, Germs, and Steel? Diamond. Glenn Diamond? Fuck me. Jared. God damn. I was literally about ready to go fetch the book. And Jared Diamond all basically say, fuck yourself. No, actually, as it turns out, most people who actually know anything about poli-science can tell you that, oh fuck, do I really have to go on the speech again? Yes, you do, Tolstoy, for the good of mankind. That tyranny does not arrive from an anarchistic society. Well, it depends. One that has open access to resources. There's a whole thing about geo-locking of resources would actually preclude tyranny. But in America, where everyone can just go, oh, look, there's animals to eat and we can grow vegetables over there. Okay, bye, see ya. Would just do that. Well, okay, I guess you have to consider the fact that the zombies are, in fact, acting as a geo-locking factor. Well, what makes Bleegan's territory any more secure than anyone else's territory? He doesn't have a fence. The governor had a fucking fence! Does this motherfucker have a fence? Either way, I feel like that show turned into one giant psyop for if you don't support the Gubby, if you don't support them, this is what will happen. And I'm like, motherfucker, this is already happening. The government takes a third of my goddamn paycheck to pay for people and their shit that I don't care about. Mostly rich people with their goddamn corporate, their corporate subsidies and their corporate bailouts. So, anyway. Sharky McShark says, Lovecraft is good, but I wish normies found another horror to gush about for once. There's so many underrated horror writers out there, but we're still beating the Lovecraft dead horse. All right. Well, fair enough. Who's good? Who's good out there? Let me know. Clive Winston says, damn, Tolstoy was alone with a girl and she was in... Wait, what? Damn, Tolstoy was alone with a girl and she was in the shower and he was just chilling. That's how I do. Well, I mean... Okay. I was 19. I was a Christian. I was a good boy. And I was getting... Shh, don't invoke that meme, you son of a bitch. I was a good boy. So, the aura of the situation was I could fuck you if I wanted, but I won't because, I don't know if the J-Man would be okay with me getting down without knowing absolutely that I love you, and we mostly just did... What was the, the scene from Death Proof where, they're like, so did you fuck him? And the girl in the car is like, nah, we just did the thing. And the girl in the back is like, I'm sorry for living, but please explain, what the fuck is the thing? And she's like, everything but. And the other girl who's driving says, do you guys like the thing? And she goes, I get better than no thing. Like, yeah, it was the thing. Because, which ironically, the first movie we watched in her dorm room was The Thing, and she was down with that shit, man. Every time something that exploded, she was like, yeah. Which, yeah. But anyway, yes, well, you know me. I'm my own worst enemy. The boss of Cat's Nick says, true. Willem Dafoe's fruitcake is in. He says, hello. Everything bumped, so we got to scroll back up. Clive Winston says, ever looked into amphetamine derivatives or of psychedelics? Interesting stuff. Imagine a 36-hour acid trip. No. Jesus Christ. You're like, ever thought about going to hell? You ever thought about being in hell? What if you get stuck on a bad trip? Bruh. Boss of Cats Nick says, Schofield was a thing, my guy. All right, okay, I looked it up. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Insert title gaming says, have you played the game Prototype? No, my brother did. It did not interest me as much, but I liked watching him play it. Sharky McShark says, what age do you believe is too old to get your shit together? Wow. I don't know, man. Are you asking me if I should kill myself? Like, what was the thought behind that comment? Look, man, I can only keep trying. Once I'm dead, I'm dead. I hope it comes soon. I wish this COVID shit was actually fucking real. In which case, I would lick every goddamn surface and let it be goddamn done with. But, here I am, kicking it every single day. Every day in life is Shawshank Prison. You either get busy living or you get busy dying. If you're too late to get your shit together, there are firearms that you can purchase that, I don't know if you know this, you can put that in a bank teller's face and they'll give you the money. So, and what do you have to lose? You're going to be too old, right? And then you're going to die. Once you're too old to have a life, to get your shit together and be able to be a member of the Republic, well, then they're going to kill you, right? I mean, you'll end up homeless or in prison, which is basically like death. So, might as well do what you got to do. Can't imagine what would happen if millions and millions of people in America ended up in that situation and then they decided to do something bad. I can't think about what would happen. Come unto me, reach up and touch your Savior's face. Come unto me, reach up and touch my saving grace. Okay, we're done with that. Woo, I got a little bit Waco on that one. Sorry, got a little bit triggered. So what happens to people who are 45 and get released from prison? So they should just die? So if they made a mistake when they were 19 and they just couldn't get parole, so we should execute them? Well, then in that case, those people should take certain actions. You know what I'm saying? And then punish the society that did that to them. You know, that's what I would do. Oops, no. No, I mean, that's bad. They should die for the glory of the empire. You know, that's what they should do. Why you ask shit like that? God damn. What time is it? You're good. No, I would like some vodka. Fuck off. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Also, the focus is off. Or is it just really shit? Well, who knows? Come unto me. The only faults of Jesus' love when he's coming home to bring his children home. I forget the rest of this song. Yes, more Popov. This is what we're doing. This is not a problem. Yee. Let's see. 1.2 ounces, 100 calories, in accordance with the internet. Yep. Zoop. God damn, get their shit together. I'm sorry, man. That shit triggers the fuck out of me. Like, it's so disrespectful to human life. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. What about a mother who ends up a single mother and then like her child dies and she spends several years in depression, maybe in a psych ward. So fuck her, let her die in the street. God damn, what a great country. Are we a first world one? I can't. I'm gonna summon up the spirit of Chris Pratt as Andy. Like, are we a first world country? It's been so long, and I at this point I'm too afraid to ask. You know what I mean? Like at this point I'm too afraid to ask. What a weird. Okay, we're done. Anyway, vodka, valut, no, salut, nostrovia. Oh yeah, Russia Thunder, baby. And that put a time limit on the rest of this stream, by the way. So, Andy689. Takashi680, okay, stop. Tolstoy, just stop. He says, every time I see the Last of Us 2 trailer, I'm thinking, no thanks, don't feel like the propaganda. That's another one that you don't want to get me on. Christ. That's slightly less triggering, and you can tell, like... Fuck. Yeah, I watched a trailer on Facebook earlier, and I can see the damage control, how they're deleting all the comments, but they can't get all the comments. Like, most of the comments on there that are left are like, can't wait to play this, shill. You know what I mean? And the few that are the very few negative comments are obvious, saying, I'm not going to buy a game from a company that literally broke the law to suppress the truth about their shithole game. You know what? Yeah. Jesus Christ. Sink into hell, boys. Sink into hell. Sharky McShark says, have you ever read Blood Meridian or any Cormac McCarthy novels for the matter? He's my favorite writer, and he's probably right up your alley. Boy! Ooh, and it's time! Come unto me, reach up and touch your Savior's face. Come unto me. I don't know where the rest of my Cormac McCarthy novels went. That's not all of them. Ooh, there's ASMR in them. Yep. Well, depends on them still. Son, my second favorite author in the world besides Lovecraft is Cormac McCarthy. I'm surprised you didn't know that. We're going to do a mini Cormac McCarthy review right now, if you did not know. I Am Missing the Road. I think my mom has it. I gave it to her, and no, I gave her All the Pretty Horses, and then she got pissed off because she was like, you didn't tell me that half of it was in Spanish, and I'm like, you don't gotta know those parts. It's a Cormac McCarthy novel. The whole point is that gringo don't know how to speak it, and you just kind of get the general idea of what's going on, you know, and she didn't like that answer. Anyway, Cormac McCarthy, Blood Meridian. Jesus Christ, it is more violent than anything I have ever, like, literally, like, and I've watched Saw, I watched Hostel. Blood Meridian. Ooh, what happened here? It looks like there was, like, blood spilled on it. Well, that's appropriate, I suppose. Blood Meridian. Yep. The Crossing. I actually stopped reading this, I think. Oh, I think, you know what, by the way? I have the place where I stopped reading braced open by a holographic Snorlax card. No, for really reals. And I was right near the ending. This was the last Cormac McCarthy book. This one kind of broke me. So we're going to put this in. I read The Road first. Don't know where the fuck it ended up. Oh, then I read Child of God, and I remember my brother came into the room and he saw me reading the same book as the author who wrote, The Road, and he said, so how dark is this one, or whatever, and I was like, darker than The Road, and he's like, what the fuck, does it take place in hell? And I said, worse, Tennessee, and, yep, I remember Child of God. He had that rifle from when he was just almost a boy. He worked for old man Whaley, setting fence posts at 8 cents a post to buy it. Damn. That's badass. You know what? I never did Cities on the Plain. This is the last book. I bought this preemptively. This is the last book in the Border Trilogy, which if you don't know, I consider this his magnum opus. A lot of people consider either The Road or Blood Meridian his magnum opus, but you're wrong, bitch. All the fucking pretty horses. And by the way, if you don't feel like reading this, there was actually a really great movie adaptation that I saw with, it's got Matt Damon in it when he was young. Fucking, it's literally just, it's Red Dead Redemption. It really is, seriously, except for it's modern times, sort of. The thing that I like about Cormac McCarthy is that a lot of his westerns are gothic and set in the 1930s. So, 20s, 30s, 40s. So, essentially, this gets me ASMR going. Sorry, you got me going on Cormac McCarthy. Like, fuck off. Like, you can ask any of my personal friends how much I love this shit. And also, yeah, well, fuck you. I don't care about you either. Fuck. God damn. I read that. Was it Blood Meridian or this? Oh no, it was this one. I had a personal family member who was graduating from one of the elite military. That's all we're gonna put it at that. And everyone was invited to. So we had to go to the butt ass crack of the United States to go to his base to watch him graduate. And I had this in my pack. It was this, wasn't it? Yeah, wasn't Blood Meridian. It was All the Pretty Horses. I remember. Yup. God damn. It's really good. Anyway, Border Trilogy, and then this, which is The Crossing, deals with a different character who eventually reunites with the main character from the first book in this one, which I actually never fucking read. I got to a point with Cormac McCarthy where I realized, after reading a lot of Jack London, that he is essentially... Oh my god. Oh god, it's making a mess. All those books spilling all over the floor. He is essentially a shitty, drunken version of Jack London. I hate to be that way. But, well, Jack London... No, he's savage as fuck, too. Yeah... Except for Jack London actually knows how to write a book that doesn't sound like it was written incoherently and drunk. So there's that. Anyway. So Sharky McShark, thank you for bringing up Cormac McCarthy. I love Cormac McCarthy. He's one of my faves. Twin Phalanx then says, I personally prefer the volcanic pistols. I like the style and the damage. It's pretty nice. They put most enemies down in 1 or 2 shots. Alright, I'll buy a fucking vault. I can raise the money. It wouldn't hurt me. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, the governor is a proper villainous bastard, and it works. One of the reasons why Series 3 is Series... oh, that's right. You already revealed in the last stream that you're British. I was like, now we know. Series. Do you mean season? Crisps and chips and widgets. Y'all British folk. No, I'm fucking with you. Yeah, Series 3 is my absolute favorite. Yeah, 3 is actually the best. 4 ain't bad. And then after that, actually, but 5 and 6 really weren't all that bad. And then they were like, LOL. You know, actually, the only modern good episode of The Walking Dead was Here's Not Here. If you ever get a chance to see Here's Not Here, the story of Morgan becoming less fucking insane, I might even watch that tonight. It's as good as a movie. It's as good as a movie. In and of itself is some sort of Oscar bait within this weird-ass series. It's really fucking decent. I highly fucking recommend it. Everything bumped. Scroll it on up. Scroll it on up. Scroll it on up. Gonna scroll on up. Gonna scroll on up. Beyond 87 says Jamie. Thanks for... Yes, Jamie. I agree. Steven Knight says, Negan's numbers is what makes him deadly. I hear what you're saying, bro. Though. They lost points with the whole brainwashing with fear plot trope. Yeah, that. It's like, in reality, somebody would have killed him by now. I just don't fucking see that shit. Like, if he was charismatic, which they display his charisma in several ways, but his whole, like, I'll take half of your shit tax... Yeah, let me tell you how I know that's not true. I've studied history. Like, when the Persians rolled up to the Jews, when the Romans rolled over the Persians, when, you know what I mean? It's like there were parameters set. Let me actually give you something really interesting, as best as my drunk brain can. So, in the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus said, "Oh fuck, we're really going to the bookshelf today, aren't we? Fuck it, we're doing it. We're doing it for Jesus!" Doing squats. Nope, that is SF Hinton. Ow, fuck me, that actually really hurts. Bump. There we go. Do. This is the wrong side. Do. Okay, now. So this was actually a book that I purchased a long-ass fucking time ago, back when I was doing religious studies for, the end of my high school, education. I was going to homeschool, so the umbrella group that was covering me from the state basically demanded that I did religious studies. So, Jesus and Nonviolence, A Third Way discusses... Look at that fucking retail price, $6. You anarchist motherfucker. Look at you. Being all fucking crazy. Anyway, this whole book basically describes passive resistance and how it relates to Jesus's message. Talks a lot about MLK and Mahatma Gandhi. Good. Fine. I'm not sure how I feel about pacifism. Anyone who's a long-ass time fan of mine might know that I was a pacifistic Jesus freak motherfucker when I was 19, when I was 17, 16, whatever the fuck. So, long story short, there's a chapter in here that discusses the Sermon on the Mount and talks about Jesus himself basically saying, if a man asks you to walk a mile with him, walk 2 miles with him, being a form of passive resistance. Now, here's what he means when he says that. The Romans used to have an occupation capability for centurions to basically recruit any rando they saw on the street. Carry my shit or my horse's shit for 1 mile. And that is where we get mile markers from. That is where the measurement of a mile comes from, which is the farthest that someone should drag some bullshit before it's becoming oppressive. The point being, if a man asks you to walk a mile with him, walk now 2 miles with him, and it becomes a different situation. He might get in trouble with his superiors. You walk more than a mile, it is already a violation of Roman law. The centurion might get in trouble, and it creates the situation where all of a sudden the authority is now subverted, and they're like, hey, what are you doing? Come back, man! And it creates the situation of now there's a Roman humiliated running around asking, a fucking whatever, lowly subject, give me my shit back. So, anyway, I said all that to say this, which is, no one would be able to be that tyrannical without someone assassinating his ass or subverting his ass. Rulers throughout history have understood. Gentle hand does it. You know what I mean? All the best fucking conquerors, Alexander the Great, Even the cons were relatively open-minded, and I would have to seize yet another goddamn book off my shelf to talk about the cons. We are not fucking talking about the goddamn Mongolians. There are reasons for this. No. I'm putting a stop to this. We're not talking about fucking Mongolians. You get drunk-ass Tolstoy talking about fucking history, it will never fucking end. Do you understand? It'll be history forever. Yes, more vodka is required. I'm sorry. You know? Are you me? Do you have to live with the horrible the horrible reality of being me? Yeah. Delicious. Delicious vodka. Popov is actually really a great brand, by the way. Twin Phalanx says, Vincent V. Cava is a pretty decent writer. You may enjoy his work. A Favor for a Favor is a good short story of his. All right. I'll look into him. Clive Winston says, bro, there are no bad trips. Oh, wow. Really interesting. Oh, my God. No. What? Okay. Should have been there for mine. God damn. You could have told me. Bro, it's not bad. I was like, oh, okay. God damn. Because that shit was fucking awful. I didn't even learn anything from it. It was just abusive. Anyway. Insert Title Gaming says, what's your favorite enemy in the Resident Evil series? Oh, dude, the Hunters. The Hunters, bro. They don't get a lot of play though. Sharky McShark says Thomas Ligotti is a great underrated horror writer if you want Rex. Rex? R-E-C is in Charlie S. Rex. Rex. Do you want Rex, bro? I do want Rex. I actually don't even know what they are. He still deals in cosmic horror, but in a sense of the universe's chaos with no seatbelts, rather than big monsters are scary. Okay. I actually feel you when you say that. I take a look. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, keep your rifle by your side, singing this world. Okay, nope, don't get into it. Andy689 says, I used to not understand people who were positive thinkers towards offing oneself, but I think I understand as I get older. I don't... Sharky McShark says, my comment about getting your shit together wasn't aimed at you. It was a genuine request for advice, going through a bit of crisis right now. Well, son, so am I. Fuck. It's never too late. And if society makes it too late, then you make it society's problem. This is my thoughts on life. And I would, don't say those fucking things. Don't say it. Don't you fucking do it. Stephen Knight says, what's your opinion on the Resident Evil's movie franchise? People hate them because they don't follow the games that closely, but personally, I like them. Now they're shit. I have good childhood memories of the first one because it was like Friday night, Dad bought some stupid shit from the Rent-A-Mart. Yeah, like back when you could rent videos. Remember that shit? Rented a DVD, brought home pizza. Now, y'all may think that you know what good pizza is. Let me tell you about your pizza. Fuck your pizza. New York, Chicago, y'all gay. And fuck. Our local pizza makers, and I don't know what the fuck I later on consulted with a dude who was actually he was a special operations dude, and we won't talk about what he did, but long story short, he heard my description of them, and he's like, Lebanese. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, they make good pizza. Fucking this weird, and I feel bad, we used to refer to them as Taliban Pizza Man. This was the early 2000s. Forgive me. That being said, these motherfuckers, they made that pizza like you just couldn't fucking believe. And near the end, they started to spin off in quality, but every so often, they would bring Grandpa out of retirement. It was clearly all Grandpa doing it, and he would go, and make that fucking pizza. Ugh! And you got that DVD of the first Resident Evil film with Mila Jovovich, who was, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Whew, goddamn. I'd suck a dick for that. I literally had a dream that I was eating that pizza. That's some good fucking pizza. Goddamn. Insert Title Gaming says, just watch Friday the 13th. Remember the good old day when horror films wasn't just jump scares and bad stories? Oh, son, I think Friday the 13th is trash. I think all of that weird-ass period in the 80s was fucking terrible. I hate all those weird 80s monsters. Those were shit. Terrible. And I love John Carpenter's films. Just the fucking Friday the 13th. What's the other one? Freddy. I don't like that. The Krueger. Oh, those are both the same. Freddy versus Jason. Jason, which was part of the... What is Jason part of? It's not Friday the 13th. Oh, it is, isn't it? Friday the 13th is Jason. Michael Myers is Halloween. There you go. All that shit. That's all retarded. Chucky, it's retarded. I hate those films. That is not real horror. Be gone. Steven Knight says, damn, vodka sounds good, lol. Fuck my life. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Clive Winston says, thoughts on Tekashi 69. All my friends are dead. Shoot me in the head. I have no idea if that's even him. I don't know. I don't follow these little mumble rapper kids. I do like some rap. I'm old head as shit. Like either old Slim Shady, DMX. I do like some Snoop, some Dre. You know what I mean? It's all old shit. All this modern shit when people are like, oh, haven't you heard of Little Big Muffin Slam 2596 to the power of 5? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but you all need to back up. Anyway. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, I still haven't played The Last of Us. Guess I'm a societal parasite. Yeah. Well, if you haven't played The Last of Us, the first one's a good game. The first one is a good game. The first one. Velodrone says, Boog Crew checking in. Looking smart now that the Boog beard is gone, my man. Hey, man. It covered up my horrible little waddle I got going on with my high fat content having ass. It's because of drinking, son. Yeah, well, the drinks absolve our sins, so there's that. Video Gamer 945 says, streaming for 69 minutes. Nice. Well, $1. Yep. I might have been. It's Fibonacci. Hey, we can't go to climbing gyms, Fib. You want to know why? Because the North Carolina government shut us down. Versace Fibonacci says, hey, yo, heard you talking about Asheville earlier. I'm working there this summer. Super stoked. NC has a lot to offer if you don't know where to look. Severely underestimated state. No one's underestimating it. It's the fastest growing state in the union. And keep that shit on the down low, dude. I don't want fucking retards knowing about that shit. Go, I'm gonna go to North Carolina and fucking inflate the property values. Don't fucking let them come here. For all of you all, North Carolina is a desolate shithole, and you should never come here. All right? So just die in your weird high-priced cities, like Chicago and New York. You die there, okay? You live, you die. You die there. Don't come here. You know he come here, okay? This Navajo land. No, not really. Been reading a lot about the Navajo. Based motherfuckers. Based as shit. God damn. And everything jumped. And the houses jumped. And we scrolling up. That's how we know the comments are getting hot. Very good. Steven Knight says, have you seen 30 Days of Night? Oh, player. Have I seen 30 Days of Night? I love that fucking film. Hell yeah. It's a great film. I don't have any commentary other than that I love it. That's about it. Sharky McShark says, Outer Dark is a great read also. Why do I feel like I've heard that? Outer Dark. Anyway. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake. I recently read Anthony Burgess's A Clockwork Orange. I recommend it, although the ending is better than the film. The book just sort of pushes the random conformity message the publishers forced to that ending. I've already done so much research and seen the novel and seen the movie to the point where I could not possibly stomach reading or experiencing more of it. I've already read it. I've already experienced it. Not read it. I watched it, but I also read it. Nerd Room Collectibles says, I bought Resident Evil 3 against my better judgment. We shall see how good it is. Well, let me know. I've heard that it's good, just not worth the price tag because it's short. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, Rick Grimes isn't in the show anymore, so what's the fucking point? Exactly. Why should we continue on? Fuck off. Tim Chandler says, Wild Turkey 101 and TKE stir. Does he mean straight? Stir. STR. Well, Wild Turkey is a good... I have no idea what to say there. While I says, fake virus, New World Order. What? No. You are a conspiracy theorist. That is totally not true. Velodrone says, how close are you to moving to North Dakota and becoming a manager of a... Pretty fucking close. Cinnabon chain. Son, if I could do that shit, I'd suck your dick. You don't think I would live in North Dakota? Y'all got the Badlands. Sharky McShark says, have you seen True Detective? That also seems right up your alley. Rust Cochella's character was particularly based on Thomas Liguota's writings. No. Willem Dafoe's Fruitcake says, the publishers forced Burgess to change the ending because they thought the book would cause all the good little sheep to become serial killers. God, England is a massive pussy of a country. I heard this, but the American version of the ending was also shit as well, if I remember correctly. Andy689 says, we spoke of Jesus, and I know we aren't all religious, but one thing I like was Pontius Pilate and his reaction to the order to kill Jesus. Yeah, everyone likes Pontius Pilate. It's a good story. Kind of reminds me of the insanity of the modern world that we're living in. Clive Winston says, can we talk about ninjas, man? I was rewatching your old vid on the Ninjato. God damn, I will never outlive it. I will never escape it. And wondering if your opinion changed or if you've come across new info. I was memeing about the no bad trips thing. Oh, okay, cool. No, I fucking haven't. I even recently started reading a book about the, quote, history of ninjas, and it was written by a dude who immediately outed himself as a faggot. And, no, it's my original thing. My original answer is the same, which is that you're taking a Japanese word for assassin, or whatever the fuck, and attempting to make it into a culturally... What's the word? A culturally unique thing, which is only the Japanese had assassins. No, you're fucking... Well, only the Japanese had assassins who did all of these super secret butt-fucking training. The ninjas didn't do that. In fact, it just means assassin. Half the time, they were fucking farmers. There are no super secret buckfuck ninjas that had a whole bunch of secret technique. You're a fetishist. Admit what it is. It's fine. This is fine. Just admit what it is, okay? Rory Atkins says, Yo, Tolstoy, I've been watching you since 5th grade. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. I turned 22 in a month. You remember, I remember years ago you made a video on graphic novels, and that really put me on to the whole Aliens Omnibus stuff. Then he says, you're the fucking man. Oh, no, I'm not the fucking man. You're the fucking man. Kazlab's in, and he says, how we doing today? Kazlab, I'm getting farther in FF7. I'm actually starting to really enjoy it. You're gonna really like what I have to say about it. First, I was okay with the game. Then I didn't like the game. Now I really like the game. But I have to rewrite scripts. It's gonna take fucking time. Sharky McShark says, what kinds of music do you like? I recommend Swans. I have no idea what you're recommending. You said swans. That, to me, is multiples of birds flying in the air. Swan? Oh, can swans fly? Anyway, I like a lot of music, and it would be impossible to list the amount of music that I actually like. Anyway, Steven Knight says, ever see Darkness Falls, that early 2000 horror movie about the evil demon Tooth Fairy? That shit fucked me up more than Freddy vs. Jason. Oh, I might look into that now that you say so. Kane the Warlock says, in my opinion, as a dumb film to shut your brain off and just watch, Sands of Time is alright, especially if you know it will barely be like the game. I will never watch that abortion. They did bad things to it. Alright. We're getting to the hour and a half mark. I'm getting pretty trashed. I want to watch a fucking stupid movie. So I'm probably going to marathon the last comments and then bug out. Sorry, guys. Don't want to make a fucking mockery of myself. So, that being said... Oh, fuck, and everyone made a lot of comments, so I have to read a lot. Kazlab says, ever watch Aliens vs. Predator? Yeah, man, my brother saw that shit in theaters, and then I was jealous, and then we saw that shit at home, and I wasn't so jealous. Insert title gaming says, my feelings are hurt. Friday the 13th, good for me. Now I'm jumping out a window. Bye, everyone. God damn. He killed himself because Tolstoy said he didn't like Friday the 13th. Jesus. Rory Atkins says, ever seen the old Tarkovsky movie Stalker? No, everyone's been telling me to watch that, but once I figured out that basically it's a low-ass budget film and there are no goddamn mutants, Tim Taylor says, that's how I feel about people moving to Texas. Yeah. Clive Winston says, thoughts on the significance of dreams? Do they have meaning or a deep meaning? No, not at all. Random ass shit that our brains tell us. Absolutely not. Well, not 100%. It depends. Sharky McShark says, Outer Dark is Cormac McCarthy novel. Outer Dark. Okay, well then in that case I'm going to watch that. Kazlab208 says, how many Saw movies have you seen? Literally all of them, except for the most recent one that they made, which I think was 2016? I don't know. Kane the Warlock says, the funny thing about Sands of Time movie is that it's probably the way it was because the guy who made The Prince of Persia was involved because the story is more like the early games. Ah! Well, that's interesting. I'll give it a thought. Why lie? Says, you made my day, laughed my ass off when you read my fake virus New World Order comment too. Funny old school. Tolstoy reaction. Love it. Nice. Kazlab says, favorite puppet movie? Fucking any of the Muppets movies? Anyway, Stephen Knight says, do you watch death battles on YouTube? I do not. Rory Atkins says, do you like Steely Dan? Just that one goddamn song, and you know which one it is. Kazlab208 says, what stupid movie are we watching today? I have no fucking idea, but I'm about to find out. Oh, wait, I figured this out. It'll cut off earlier if I don't.